As we age, we want to live a healthy life, and we also want to be active in our communities and seek out services and get involved in different programs. Joining us today to talk more about that specifically is Miss Janet Jernigan, the Executive Director at 50Forward. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And what a special celebration. You're celebrating 25 years there, so congratulations.
Thank you.
That's quite an accomplishment. You all have done so much for the community, and I know a lot of people look to you as a great resource. We should mention right in the beginning, so many people are living longer. We're seeing a lot of people 65 and older nowadays, making up a huge population in our world.
You know, they say that for all the people who've ever lived to be the age of 65 in the entire history of the world, 2/3 of those are alive today.
Isn't that something? What does this mean, Janet, for our communities in general, having that population?
I think that's two things. One thing, on the one hand, it's a great challenge to have the services and programs that are needed for people as they age. On the other hand, it's a tremendous opportunity because you have all those talents and gifts of older people who can volunteer in the community, who can continue to work, who can make a significant difference throughout the whole area.
Absolutely. One thing I think that people probably focus on, some may not, but they should, is just their social life and building that as we age. You know, our friends kind of drift in and out of lives, but how important would you say is it to build that social circle and have that kind of network of folks?
Well, there's several things that are really important for longevity, and at the very top of the list is the social connections. And that's one of the main reasons that 50Forward has all the classes and activities at 7 different locations around the community so that people can come in and can meet other people and develop new social relationships. A lot of people have moved here from out of town to be close to their adult children, so they've got to build a whole new social network.
Yes, a lot of people also like to jump into healthy activities, but we always have to consider our age and know what we should limit and what we should avoid altogether, or things that we should participate in. So when we think of healthy activities for folks, mention some of those things. What would be your advice for anybody 50 and above?
Well, I think the thing is really just what's your physical abilities at this particular point in time. There's so much functional difference between a 50-year-old, and one person being 50 and another person being 50. So it really has to do with what skills and abilities, talents, how flexible are you, and going from there. I know we had a Mature and Magnificent event several years ago, and we had a woman from Dover, Tennessee, who when she was 92 went skydiving with her 90-year-old brother. At her church picnic when she was 94, she showed up on a jet ski. So you really can't say to people really of any age you shouldn't be doing this, because there's always going to be someone who's the exception. So you have to kind of know where you are right now, and if you want to take on something more challenging, you just have to do it in smaller steps to get you there.
Visiting with the folks in our community specifically who are that age, the 50 plus and 65 and over, do you find that a lot of these people are really looking at their health more nowadays than ever before and really keeping up good health?
I think the baby boomers particularly, it's always kind of been about me, being baby boomers coming along. So folks are really interested in longevity, and they're interested in anything that they can do. And all the research really shows that baby boomers have 3 main things that they're concerned about. One is health and wellness, the other one is continuing lifelong learning, and then the other is caregiving issues as their parents are older or spouses.
And that's something that, is important over at 50Forward too. How does someone become a lifelong learner? Tell us about that, if you will.
Well, there are a lot of lifelong learning opportunities, but one of the things about brain research, it shows that you can learn at any age. You never quit learning until you die. So to take advantage of all those opportunities around the community, many through our centers, but there are other programs. Lipscomb's got a great lifelong learning program for older adults. Vanderbilt has the OSHA Institute. So I just say people need to take advantage.
Do you think that means picking up a book and reading it, trying something new in terms of a different puzzle, or trying to solve something, or getting yourself into an actual activity that you haven't tried, or maybe all of them?
All of that.
So it could be really anything.
We have 50Forward First, we call them, so that's getting into those activities that you've never done before.
All right, so what would you say would be the best opportunities for Middle Tennessee for continued learning for 50 and above? What would you say?
Well, I would say certainly in Davidson and Williamson County, come to one of the 50-forward centers and get involved, and we'll find any kind of activity that you might be interested in. Try to get a group together that has that same goal and desire.
Something that I've always appreciated about 50Forward is it seems like you could walk into one of the centers and immediately become friends with somebody who shares a certain enjoyment of yours. Obviously, that's a big goal, just as you stated, of yours. Do you find yourself trying to implement new programs pretty consistently every year, trying to develop something different that, you know, folks can grab a hold of and say, I want to try this time?
All the time. We had an organizational assessment done several years ago that was standardized on corporations all over the country, and it really showed that 50Forward operates in what's called the innovation stage of development. So we're always innovating, we're always trying to find new things and to help people broaden their whole horizons.
Sure. People are also working a lot longer, obviously living longer. You usually do work a little bit longer. But you know, at some point you're going to want to retire. You're going to want to have that time with family. But some folks fear retirement in a way because then they feel that they'll slow down. What would be your advice for somebody out there who's watching today who would want to know, how can I still maintain that great, healthy, active life without having my job every day to go to?
I think it's finding something that gives you real purpose and significance in life, something that you really enjoy, that brings you joy, something you're passionate about. And I was sitting next to someone at a luncheon today who's retired, who had a very responsible community position. She was just talking about she's still able to get involved in causes and as a volunteer, and she doesn't need to get paid, and she has as much, I guess, reward from that she ever did from the career she had.
Sure. You always want to obviously try some new things and do some different things, but I know that you've always been such a great role model for a lot of folks too. Having said that, you probably have some advice of things that people might not want to try after they hit a certain age, maybe at 50. Would you have anything regarding some of those things that people should probably just avoid once they turn 50?
I think the biggest thing people need to avoid once they turn 50 is thinking they're too old to do whatever.
But as far as diet and as far as, you know, going out and really just extending yourself, would you say that there are limitations for folks, or no? Is it just?
I think it's the same thing that applies to any age. You need to have a healthy, you know, nutritional plan. You need to get regular exercise. You need to be involved with other people. You need to have a significant purpose in life. You need to learn new skills. Those are all the things that contribute to longevity.
Sure.
They're all the things that prevent Alzheimer's and other physical disabilities.
Sure. And for so many folks, that's when really life begins, is when you embark on this new adventure, whatever that may be. Ms. Janet Jernigan, thank you so much for your time today, and congratulations again on your longevity with 50Forward.
Thank you.